Today we're going to go check up on a buddy's hive and see if they need any dry sugar. Let's go for a ride. It's mid-January, and as an insurance policy, we're going to put some dry sugar on this hive. It's super easy to do, and it's been really effective here in Ohio just to make sure they've got enough to eat. So let me show you the tools that we're using today. Today we're going to put 10 pounds of dry sugar along with this feeding shim. And these are just cut down junky boxes that we either get warped or they get a little bit wonky. We just cut them down, make these 2.5, 3 inch shims, and we'll set this right on top of the hive. We'll use that piece of newspaper, and we'll use a little bit of smoke. Today it's just about 50 degrees, so that the bees they should be out flying around, but we'll light a smoker just in case they get a little ornery. Now tomorrow morning, I get on the road and do some driving. So as a safety precaution tonight, I'm just gonna slip this quick veil over. It's fashionable too. So here's one of the hives here where we use the bucket feeders on top. And when we're done with the bucket feeders, we can put one of those tent plugs right on top. And it seals everything off real nice. So let's crack these guys open quickly. Give them just a little bit of smoke. And we'll look down, and sure enough, lots of bees. So right now, this time of year, we still have some beetle blasters in here and some dry Swiffer sheets for beetle control. And you can see here, these Swiffer sheets trap the hive beetles in there. So I'm looking down real quick, and I'm not going to pull all these frames out today because it's so cold. But the first things that I'm looking for is I'm looking for honey. And I'm looking down, I can see capped honey on every single one of these frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got lots of honey still in mid-January, so that's good. So we'll give them a little bit of smoke. Now for the dry sugar, all we're gonna do is add the shim right to the top. Just like this, okay? Take a piece of newspaper. This happens to be the grocery ads. So we'll go ahead and stick a little newspaper in there. Now the idea for this is just to put a little dry sugar in there for them, just in case they would run out of honey. They still have something to eat. This is not going to be the end all be all. If you have sick, unhealthy bees, this is not going to help them get through the winter. All this does is it's a cheap insurance policy, just in case they do kind of run out of honey. They've got some dry sugar to eat. Ohio's becoming trickier year after year because we have these warm, wet winters to where the cluster, they're constantly breaking cluster and coming back, breaking. So they're going through a lot more resources, I think, than they have historically in the past. So the sugar is kind of nice just to help aid them along if they were to actually need it. So we've got our newspaper in. And all we're gonna do is add some dry sugar. Now, you could have also just put another box on top and then set your sugar right in there and then open it up. But we're trying to keep our ventilation such to where we're gonna minimize how much moisture is building up in the hive. So we're trying to use as small of a space as possible, and it gives them there's less real estate for them to actually heat as well. So we've got our dry sugar. Now this bag has been sitting out in the workshop collecting moisture, so some of that sugar wants to get a little bit harder. It's going to loosen some of that up. Okay, we're just going to mount that back here. Now I know that seems like a lot of sugar. It is, but the sugar does a couple things. Not only does it provide some carbohydrates for them, what it also does is all this dry sugar will absorb moisture. So all this dry sugar will act like a desiccant inside of the hive and keep absorbing moisture. So it's another nice thing that it does. So if it seems like you're putting too much on, sometimes I'm sure you can. What we do is if we in the spring, after the maples bud, and we're kind of out of that worry of them needing something to eat. It's kind of like an indicator for us. You can easily take all this dry sugar right back off, put it in a barrel, add a little water, add a little yeast, make you a little hooch. It all works out just fine. So we've got our feeding shim on. We've got our newspaper, our dry feed. I'm looking down. There's lots of bees. You can see here. They're already starting to come back up and start to check out what in the world are these hillbillies doing to our hive. And you can see they're already coming up, checking it out. It's exciting to break a hive or to crack one open and see bees and see them doing so well and so full. So we try to do better each year, and using dry sugar is something that has worked really well for us as a cheap insurance policy. Go ahead and put the lid back on. Okay, we'll use our brick on top, and that is that. So now this hive has a little bit of dry sugar, and we'll check back up on them right before the maples start to bud, and we'll get on going with the rest of the beekeeping season. If all goes well, we'll have a big healthy hive to split a bunch of ways and to grow out this bee yard here. So that's how we use dry sugar. Let us know what you use to keep your bees through the winter time, and let us know if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Hey, can you help us out? Hit like, subscribe, share with all your friends, and be sure to check these great videos out too.